There are a handful of mistakes that almost every new sauna owner makes. The problem is, usually you don't realize them until your sauna is already sitting in your house, and it's too late to change anything. Over the last 7 or 8 years, I've personally tested more than 40 different sauna models. I've spent thousands of hours comparing them, measuring them, testing, reviewing them, and helping people choose the right sauna for their situation. I've also had the opportunity to interact with more than 47,000 sauna owners inside our Facebook community, the Certified Sauna community. And when you talk to that many people, you start to notice some patterns, the same regrets, the same frustrations, the same things people wish they had known before spending thousands of dollars. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the biggest things sauna owners wish they knew before buying. And make sure you stick around for point number 3, because it's one of the most overlooked aspects of sauna design. It's something almost nobody talks about during the buying process, yet it can completely change your sauna experience once you get it in your house. Point number 1, don't buy based on appearance alone. This is probably the biggest mistake that I see over and over. People fall in love with beautiful marketing photos and fancy brochures, the gorgeous lighting, the sleek modern designs, the giant glass front, and then 6 months later, they're disappointed because the sauna doesn't perform the way they expected. One thing I've learned after testing more than 40 sauna models is that the sauna that photographs the best is rarely the sauna that performs the best. A sauna is not a piece of furniture. It's a wellness tool, and performance should always come before appearance. I've sat in expensive saunas that looked incredible but didn't heat nearly as effectively as simpler designs with better heater placement and better heat retention. When you're shopping, ask yourself this question: am I buying this sauna because it looks impressive on the page, or am I buying because it's actually going to help me achieve my health goals? Because those are not always the same thing. Point number 2, think twice before buying an all-glass front sauna. Now, before everyone jumps into the comments and saying that all glass front, saunas are not all bad, some of them are actually beautiful, but there are trade-offs. Glass is going to lose heat faster than wood. That means longer preheat times, more energy consumption, and in some cases, lower overall efficiency. The larger the glass area, the more noticeable this becomes. It's not about brand, it's about heat retention. This is one of those things many people don't think about until they lived with the sauna for a while or through multiple seasons. The way it performs in summer is not the way it performs in winter. If aesthetics are your top priority, an all-glass front sauna may be worth it. But if your primary goal is heat performance, efficiency, and heat retention, understand that glass comes with compromises. Most salespeople, though, aren't going to talk about those compromises before you buy. Before we get to point number 3, I want to mention something interesting. When you've tested more than just a couple dozen saunas and listened to feedback from tens of thousands of sauna owners, you start noticing that some complaints show up over and over regardless of brand. Point number 3 is also one of those things. It's one of the most overlooked aspects of sauna design. And point number 3 is front heaters matter way more than most people realize. This is probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned after years of testing. Many saunas place most or all of their heaters behind your back when you're sitting in the sauna. Your chest, your knees, your shins, your feet, and the front of your body often receive significantly less infrared exposure. And that's why I've become such a big believer in thoughtful heater placement and full body coverage. I've sat in saunas where the thermometer says one thing, but my body feels something completely different. My performance or my sweat is not matching what I'm seeing on the screen. The sauna that heats your entire body evenly usually feels dramatically better than the sauna that simply has a higher temperature reading on the control panel. This is one reason I often prioritize heater layout over many of the marketing features companies love to advertise. The goal isn't simply heating the air. The goal is heating your body. And those are two very different things the majority of the time. Point number 4, buy one size bigger than you think you need. Almost always. I've had countless people tell me they wish they bought a larger sauna. I've almost had nobody tell me they wish they bought a smaller one though. A one-person sauna sounds perfect until your spouse wants to join you, or you want to stretch out, or your kids want to use it with you one night, or you decide to spend a little bit more time in it than you originally planned and just need more space so you're more comfortable. If you have the space and you have the budget, moving up one size is often one of the smartest decisions that you can make right out of the gate. Future you will probably thank you. Ask me how I know. Point number 5, think 5 years ahead. Most people buy a sauna for today's needs, but the smartest move is buying for where your life may be headed. Are you going to move? Will your spouse start using it with you once you lose weight, get better health results, or just feel overall better in general? Will your health goals evolve as you accomplish them? Will you create a home gym? Will your wellness routine change? The happiest sauna owners I've talked with are usually the people who bought with longer time horizons in mind. Think about the next 5 years, not just the next 5 months when making these choices. Point number 6, plan your electrical before delivery day. Please, please, please. This is not exciting, but it can save you a lot of headaches and a lot of unaccounted for expenses. I've seen people spend thousands of dollars on a sauna and then realize they don't have the right outlet. They need a dedicated circuit, or they need an electrician now, or the location they have picked out doesn't really work. Before you place an order, know exactly where the sauna is going. Know whether it requires 120 volts or 240 volts. Know where the outlet will be located and how long the pigtail needs to be so you know it'll reach. And know whether any electrical upgrades are really needed or not. Trust me, this is much easier to solve before the sauna shows up in your driveway. Point number 7. I don't know if I have 7 fingers. Stop obsessing over maximum temperature. This might be one of the most understood topics in the entire sauna industry. People constantly ask me, Matt, which sauna gets the hottest? Which sauna reaches 170 degrees? Matt, which sauna is gonna be 180 degrees? And honestly, I think people are focusing on the wrong metric altogether. I've tested saunas that advertise very high temperatures, but really don't create an impressive sweat response. Explain that. I've also tested saunas operating at a lower temperature and they heat the body incredibly effectively. Your proximity to the heaters is gonna matter. The heater placement is gonna matter. The amount of infrared reaching your body overall, cumulatively, is gonna matter. The coverage on your legs, your feet, your core. These things often matter more than chasing another 10 degrees on a control display. Don't buy a sauna based solely on temperature claims though. Buy it based on how effectively it's gonna heat your body. Point number 8, think carefully about where you're going to install it. A sauna in your garage creates a very different experience than a sauna in your master bedroom. A sauna in Maine, where I live half the year, is very different than a sauna in Florida, where I live the other half. A basement sauna installation is very different from a home garage gym. One of the biggest predictors of whether someone uses their sauna consistently is convenience. If it's easy to access, you're gonna use it more regularly. If it's inconvenient, you'll find every excuse in the book. Think about your daily routine. Make the sauna fit your life, not the other way around. Point number 9, consistency matters more than buying the perfect sauna. I know people who have spent $10,000 on a sauna and barely use it. I also know people who have small, simple, portable saunas and they use it 4 or 5 times a week and they've completely transformed their wellness routine and subsequently their health. The best sauna is the one that you're actually gonna use. The benefits come from consistency, not perfection, not price, not having the fanciest model. Consistency always wins. Every single time. By this point, you've probably noticed a theme throughout this video. Most of the things we discussed have very little to do with flashy marketing. And that's because after reviewing tons of saunas for years and years, testing dozens of different models, and helping oversee one of the largest sauna communities online, I've found that the thing that creates the best sauna experience is usually the least exciting things to market. Which brings us to point number 10. Learn to separate useful features from marketing gimmicks. The sauna industry absolutely loves buzzwords. You've heard these before. Full spectrum, chromotherapy, miracle technologies, detox lights, fancy terms that sound impressive. But here's what I've learned after years of testing. The fundamentals are gonna matter the most. Good heater placement, comfort, so you'll actually wanna be in there, build quality, so that it lasts, low EMF and ELF when possible, and if you can afford it, reliable performance, and a sauna that actually heats your body effectively. For example, one of the biggest misconceptions that I see is the idea that every full spectrum sauna somehow doubles as red light therapy. Those are completely different conversations. Most quartz heaters commonly used in full spectrum infrared saunas, they peak and have different infrared wavelengths that are very different from the wavelengths typically studied in red light therapy or photobiomodulation. They are not the same thing. Don't get distracted by marketing claims. Focus on the fundamentals, because at the end of the day, you're not buying a brochure. You're buying a sauna for your health and wellness in the courtesy of your own home. Most of these aren't things you're gonna notice on day one. They're the little details that become obvious after 6 months, a year, or several years of ownership. The best sauna isn't necessarily the most expensive sauna either. It's the one that fits your goals, fits your home, and fits your lifestyle and your individual unique needs. And fits the way that you're actually gonna use it and integrates into your life in a seamless fashion. If you've owned a sauna for a while, leave one thing you wish you knew before buying in the comments down below. I would genuinely love to hear it. And your answer might help someone else avoid making an expensive mistake, even if you've already made it. If you're still researching, check out my other sauna comparison videos on the channel where we break down the pros and cons of different brands, different heater styles, different price points, so you can find the right sauna for your specific situation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.